I'm just a bit like, okay, bro, you're a disgruntled employee. I'm sure you got lots of complaints, okay? What can you prove? What can you back up? What have you actually got on paper that's going to be able to back up the that you're claiming here? I'm like, I don't care. He could have faked 1,000 videos. I don't care about 1,000 videos getting faked, okay?
I feel really guilty about the way this like shook out.
You know, MrBeast has been the subject of much criticism recently following the Ava Chris Tyson revelations. And Dogpack has made another video, another hour-long video with some more heat. Now, I have had this spoiled from looking at social media, okay, unfortunately. So I do know about, as it's called, the last 5 minutes. But obviously, in order to be fair, we must have a look at all of it. And also, Stephen, the journo that I got on the other day, that, you know, brought me to Rolling Stone's fame, has written an article about Ava Chris Tyson. We'll look at that too, okay? So we've got a lot to get into here. Old Greg is a mangina. He's a man about town. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. So let's get into it and see what's what. Okay. So we have got this here.
I'm hungry.
So this video is called I Worked for MrBeast. He's a sociopath. And straight away we've got in the comments here. He's a sociopath is my opinion based on the Cambridge Dictionary definition of sociopath. A person who is completely unable or unwilling to behave in a way that is acceptable to society. He's a sociopath in no way should be interpreted as a medical diagnosis or statement of fact. So we've got a little bit of legalese. We got a bit of legalese mixed in there. We'll speed it up a bit too because it's quite long.
I'm hungry. All right, jokes for food. I wish a philanthropist YouTuber would just give me 10K and not film it. Hey, what the hell happened to you? MrBeast, that's what happened to me.
What we do here is go back.
I was gonna beat someone. I was gonna beat him. Carl took my job. Carl took my job. It's the worst thing that ever made me do. Oh, no. I didn't. No.
Right, so he is kind of more directly taking on this kind of content cop persona. iDubbbz. Yeah, the iDubbbz homage. Bit gay. Okay, yeah, I agree.
Okay, content cop from Temu, back at it again. So just before I get into my interrogation with former MrBeast employee Jake Weddle.
Okay, I'll give him that. That was quite a good meme. I like that. Content cop from Temu. Bit self-deprecating. I'm all for that, okay?
A lot has happened since my last video. After posting, I got hundreds of messages from former MrBeast employees, and I had them all like send proof of former employment. You know, just people showing their support or telling their stories of you know, fake videos or unsafe practices, you know, toxic workplace, stuff like that. I'm not really gonna get into those claims because, for one, like, most people want to stay anonymous, which I understand. And also, like, I think most of that stuff's just been covered with you know, the news coming out about Beast Games and everything. And also I have like more serious allegations that I want to start covering. Also, I heard from a very credible source that MrBeast has been sitting on a response to part 1 because he was worried if he posted it, I would instantly respond with part 2. You know, like this is Kids Bop, Kendrick Lamar versus Drake. Also, I know MrBeast's secret CEO has been practically like harassing my people on, you know, hey, what's in part 2? What does he know? So I will just tell you, James, what will be in part 3, so you don't have to harass my people. It will be about serious allegations of sexual misconduct in the company and your direct involvement in covering up those crimes. And I'll make sure to give you full credit and plaster your face all over the screen. Thank you, so yeah, I've gotten dozens of messages from former MrBeast employees of very serious allegations. So I just want to put a call to action at the start of this video that, you know, if you have a story, you can DM me. Just make sure you send proof of employment first.
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of extra shit here, but you know, we'll get through it. We've got plenty of time. Hey, Weezy Look Lardu, thanks for the $3 super sticker. Hippo character in tactical gear does tactical flanking maneuver hand gestures. Based. Thank you for the super sticker.
I get a lot of DMs, and like, as much as I meme and joke around, like, I take anonymity very seriously. So without explicit permission, I don't go public with anything. And obviously, if it goes to court, I would hope they would censor your information from the court documents. I don't know. Oh, and former contestants too. That's another thing I heard after posting my last video is during the 100 boys versus girls video. I have people corroborating the same story that the camera guy who gave the girls a drone was making some girls feel uncomfortable. You know, you trap these girls in a circle and make them sleep on
a rough
drone
that?
Was making.
Okay. I know in the 100 boys versus girl videos, they fed us boys hours after the girls each time, and it really got on our nerves because it became blatantly obvious they wanted the girls to win. I know the camera guy who gave the girls the drone was being extremely inappropriate with the girls, so I started talking to them after the shoot, made them feel very uncomfortable. Did you? And then another message here. Did you see or hear anyone on the production staff acting inappropriately with contestants? Yes, I don't remember his name, but the guy who gave the girl a drone in the video was constantly coming into the circle and being very flirtatious with some of the girls, which was so weird given the circumstances. I remember hearing jokes about girls joking about Stockholm Syndrome, but given how many of us were sleep deprived and harmed paint fumes, it honestly makes sense. Although this isn't hard proof, obviously, of anything, because it's you know, I can believe this. I think I can imagine that there's, you know, a lack of like solid boundaries, like on a professional shoot, right? Generally speaking, everyone is going to be a professional, and it's rare you get these kind of issues. They do happen sometimes, but it tends to be quite rare these kind of issues happen on like a Hollywood set or something like that. But I could easily imagine, especially with some of the other stuff that we've heard about the allegations of how Beast Games works and what was going on there, I just think that this is all a product of, you know, lack of experience, lack of knowledge, not knowing the right way to handle things, not knowing the right way to deal with things, and probably having people who are not, you know, like on their best behavior, so to speak. So I think I'm willing to accept this is probably some truth to some of this stuff. Hey, this is Dogpack. I was DM'd by another contestant in that video that said one of the male employees in the production team was making some girls feel uncomfortable. They can corroborate the story. Did you see or hear anything about this? Well, okay, I'm not saying Hollywood doesn't have creeps. I'm saying that most Hollywood shoots are free of these kind of like obvious, clear issues, right? And I would imagine there's probably more problems with it in these shoots. Because people perceive it as a way or an opportunity of like getting some tail, right? Oh, I'm filming for MrBeast. I'm shooting for MrBeast today. I'm going to see if I can pull someone or something, right? I have no idea the guy's name, but someone does come to mind. Nothing particular happened to me, but I believe he was one of the cameramen. He was constantly vaping, and I remember he teased, taunted a few girls who were jealous of him making a vape. Personally, I avoided most of the crew, so I can't say I experienced anything inappropriate by any of the staff. Also, great fucking video, bro. You really opened my mind to a lot of stuff I was ignoring because I just got paid and saw him in such a positive light. Okay. Sounds like the guy was one of the ones that gave the guy a camera jump, right? Yes. I just had to go back to the vid, but yes, that's him if I remember correctly.
Some girls feel uncomfortable. You know, you trap these girls in a circle and make them sleep on rough turf and get them high on paint fumes, and then you try to f them.
Okay, that seems really dark.
No, it's not dark. You're misunderstanding me, bro.
I think
yeah, you are. Because if the girl said no, then the answer obviously is no.
No.
But the thing is that she's not gonna say no. She would never say no because of the implication.
Good use of this clip.
Anyway, so that will be part 3.
Good use of the clip. And I do think, yes, okay. Yeah, the implication, right? They're there. They're trapped. They can't go anywhere. And, you know, this is like where you need to have really strong guidelines and rules in place that are adhered to and enforced strictly, right? Where you need to have it as this is a professional code of conduct you must adhere to if you're, you know, working on our set or something like that. And I can only imagine that either there is one and it's not enforced very well, or there isn't one, or there is one and it's not very well put together, something like that. But yeah, I reckon that there's definitely problems with this. I can easily imagine that's the case.
3, so, you know, MrBeast, do with that information what you will. I know Chucky didn't want to respond to those allegations. So anyway, my interview with Jake Weddle, I chose to interview him because I thought he was perfect because he was both on camera and behind the scenes in 2019 and 2020. And also, what people don't know is that he came back in 2021 to be the sole contestant of a MrBeast video.
Looks like Queeman if he was on testosterone and did not have an awful British voice with a molestable phenotype. Your thoughts?
Yes, I agree. He does look like Queeman. It's a bit unnerving. He's American Queeman. Thank you for the $5 Canadian.
Video, which never got uploaded because it went very badly. He also knows about another portable document format who was working at MrBeast while actually on the registry. And I'll get more into that story at the end of the video. So I got his DM, drove straight to New York overnight, did not sleep, just drank a bunch of caffeine. And I also only had one microphone in the interview, which he's wearing. So it's mostly just him talking. Also, like, final thing, people said my last video started slow. This video also starts slow. It you know, builds up over time. But I'll do the retention thing and say, the ending will blow your mind. It's crazy. Yeah. Okay. Jake Weddle, everybody.
I'm Jake Weddle. Most people who, if you know me from MrBeast, I'm a deep cut. I'm in a few of the videos, sometimes maybe purposefully kept in the shadows a little bit. I'm in the cutting room floor a lot of the time. But I've been in some videos. I've worked on a lot of them. I was there from 2019 to 2020, 2021-ish when I came back and did some more. I was there when they were authentic, and then I saw the transition to what I feel like is a company. He's like a TV show now. It went from YouTuber guy with a camera to Amazon. The culture around there was very unspoken, but there was a vibe. There was half the people who, if you made Jimmy happy, you were on the good half. And these people got random bonuses and were usually moved up, had more screen time. And then there was people who, if you had a disagreement or butt heads with Jimmy or just you didn't like it, you were the other half. And I consistently was in the half that Jimmy doesn't like me. That's fine. I don't like him either. It's okay. I feel so good to say. I don't like Jimmy. I hate you so much. He didn't want anyone to get more popular or have more of a way out necessarily. Like, oh, I'm doing my Twitch thing on the side. Don't do that because you could get famous and leave and talk about me negatively. And I could tell that the yes men were, doing well. And I was, disgruntled for quite some time. So I've talked to reporters, right? Like publicly. And I've always had to choose my words very, very carefully because I don't want to say anything I don't stand behind, obviously. So I used to talk to people. I used to glaze Jimmy publicly for things I do genuinely think are true. But then it's like, well, how come you didn't talk about the working conditions? Well, I wanted a career. I didn't want to, speak ill of YouTube's golden boy and then I'm blacklisted forever. I tell people I was talking to you, they go, "Don't, what are you doing? You're going to kill your career." It's like, I have to or I'll be sad. If this is the moment, we're going to talk about it.
Oh my God,
as far as that, that's my covering up of why we didn't talk about XYZ sooner, but now you know.
What would you say is the fakest video that you worked on while you were there?
Fakest video that I worked on while I was there. This is the extent of the fakeness that I was involved to. This is admitting to my complicity. I was a writer there, and we were working on a video, crushing my friend's...
Basically, long story short is he's not spoken about this before. And the reason he's not spoken about this before is because he, I fucking know. He's worried about his career, I guess.
Car with a rock or meteor or something. It was a rock or meteor on the title of it. I can't remember, but he wanted to do a prank where, unbeknownst to the person.
Now the problem with all of this is like, dude, I'm just a bit like, okay, bro, you're a disgruntled employee. I'm sure you got lots of complaints. Okay, what can you prove? What can you back up? What have you actually got on paper that's going to be able to back up the shit that you're claiming here? Because this is the problem when you have someone that leaves or ends in some way. Okay, it's like obviously you've got an axe to grind. So I'm sure that you're going to present things in the worst possible way. And that, I think, is why you really need to have something good to back it up with, So yeah, I hate this, like, just coming on and just completely slating it. And I'm guessing there's going to be no pushback from the guy or any much substantial disagreement. Play at normal speed. Okay. It'll take a bit longer to get through it, but okay.
Person, he takes a rock, crushes their car, and they're supposed to think a rock came out of space.
We're gonna take a meteor and we're gonna put it on Weddle's car. We're gonna take another meteor and put it on Marcus's car. Both of them have no idea that we're doing this. Weddle and Marcus are probably shocked. They had no idea.
And so that was the one and only time I had to, my car? What?
Oh my God, you guys are so riddled with ADHD. 1.25 speed makes the video for me a little bit unintelligible. That's why I decided to change it off the back of the comics. I agree, it's a bit unintelligible, okay? It won't make that much difference to the length. We've got plenty of time today. And also, guys, I'm streaming tomorrow, and the day after that, 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 until I'm off for 2 days again. We've got plenty of time to cover everything, okay? We've got literally, 40 odd hours of streaming to get to everything. Relax, we'll get that, I promise, okay?
What? And on the fly, I saw him, because Marcus was in that video. So Marcus is calling his mom. Marcus genuinely had no idea. He genuinely had no idea. But, so Marcus is calling his mom, and his mom's freaking out. And I'm like, oh no, they're going to call my mom next. So I had to text my mom, who had to beg to get the title very quickly. Now I'm texting my mom, I go, Mom, I'm about to call you about the meteor thing. You have no idea? Be surprised. And then I hit send, and then they go, call your mom now. And I call my mom and I tell her, and she should have got the Oscar. Oh my God, on the fly, she goes, what? I'm on vacation. Mom, my car has been destroyed.
Wait, what?
A meteor hit it.
Jacob, I'm on vacation. Do you understand?
But yeah, I did that video, and they're supposed to give me 10K to put it down.
See, like, to me, God, this is... The first part of the video, I thought, okay, this guy seems to be a bit more on the ball with this. Good.
Okay, that's wonderful.
But now we're going into this is fact. I just find this so stupid.
He makes me trust Dogpack less.
Oh my God. Thank you. T, thank you for the $3.
Wheelchair symbol.
I'm like, I don't care. He could have faked 1,000 videos. I don't fucking care about 1,000 videos getting faked, okay? I care about, spoiler alert, it has been spoiled. I care about children possibly being put at risk with certain actions, okay? I care about potential fraud or illegal conduct or illegal activity, right? That is the sort of thing that I think I've got more problem with. And I know it gets to that, right? But this focus endlessly, repeatedly on, oh, this is fake and this is fake and this is fake, I just think is so worthless and just shouldn't be part of this. If you want to make a video talking about how you fake stuff, I think that should be a separate piece of content, and then people can go and look at that if they're that concerned about it getting faked. But, you know, everything else is more important to me. But again, we're back talking about how this video is faked. Am I alone in this and thinking, like, I don't really care that much about MrBeast faking videos? Like, whatever. Fake away, whatever. And maybe you should have some sort of disclaimer that makes it clearer. But that would probably fix that problem, right? But fuck me, dude. It's like, I'm so sick of hearing about these fake videos. I literally couldn't care less.
On a new car, and they wanted me to get like a big flashy new car. 10K was supposed to be a down payment. And I can't afford a big flashy new car because I work at MrBeast. So I couldn't get anything I couldn't afford the taxes on. I couldn't get anything I couldn't afford the insurance on. So I do my part of the video, and I get a mom van that I could afford. And Jimmy was like, why didn't you get a cooler car? I was like, I can't afford that, bro. Come on, what are you talking about? You know, if I was working on a TV show in the 90s, on a show that was a quarter as successful, I could retire today. But now I make dog shit pay, making gajillionaires more money. And I just walked into the writer's room, and that's one of the reasons why I left, was because I just walked in there and asked for not necessarily a gajillion.
I'm sorry, this is totally worthless, okay? Yes, rich channels are going to try and fuck you over. That's your negotiation ability. You negotiate for better pay, and if you don't get it, you leave and you do something else. That's the way of the world, bro. Welcome to fucking living an adult life. That's how it works. If you're not getting paid enough and you can't negotiate for more money, you go and find something else to do.
And I just walked into the writer's room, and that's one of the reasons why I left, was because I just walked in there and asked for not necessarily a gajillion dollars, but
just watch it. Shut the fuck up. If you want to watch the video, go and watch it, you moron. I'm obviously going to react to it as we go through, okay? If you're expecting me to just sit here and watch it, you got another thing coming, okay? I'll link you the video. Fuck off. Get fucked. Fuck off and watch it. I'm going to pause. It will probably take me at least 2 hours to get through this video. If that's a problem for you, go and watch it yourself. Holy fuck, dude. Sorry, I talked over the super chat. Thank you for that, super chat. The fake video accusation probably land hardest on those very at-risk kids, though, right? It's what the audience would care about. I don't care about the fake video thing. If there's people that do, fair enough. But I think there's other things at play which are more important and crucial in this story.
Maybe a salary that was more proportional to the work I was doing, given how much revenue that work was doing. And then, you know, I talked about that, and I talked about the Writers Guild and how this is what Writers Guild industry standard is for the streaming internet content with ads. I thought that was the closest thing to YouTube, and I didn't even bring up residuals, because oh my god, if I got residuals for every video I worked on, boy howdy, I could retire. But yeah, the other thing I talked about was there was another writer there, older comic, black guy. He had a kid, and I got paid more than...
What is the point of this story? I was getting paid under market rate on a non-union job. Wonderful. I tried to negotiate and couldn't, so I left. Is that literally it?
Yelling is making me moist.
Excellent, Puddle Sucker. Thank you for the $5.
And I thought that was wild because he was older than me, had a child. We're doing the exact same job, and I'm some 20-year-old fuckhead white guy. Why am I getting paid more than him? I brought that up. And one of the things I didn't like about the way some of the V stuff shook out was... I feel really guilty about the way this shook out. Yeah, I was talking to this other writer, it's fucked up, that's how the pay is, and I want you to get paid more, because you deserve to get paid more. I don't have a kid. And he didn't want to rock the boat. He desperately didn't want to rock the boat. He's just, I like my job. I like, you know, because when you grow up with, you know, nothing, not to say that he did.
Dude, this is such fucking cancer, man. This is such bullshit. Oh, my black friend had a child. I wanted him to get paid more. Ah! Fuck off, bro. If you're this emotional, you shouldn't be on fucking camera, dude. Holy fuck. These people drive me insane. Wakanda forever. Dude. Give me a fucking break, dude.
But how do I make
Alting is
money
insufferable.
off depressed people?
Oscar nominee.
Thank you for the $5.
But I know. And he didn't want to rock the boat. He desperately didn't want to rock the boat. He's just, I like my job. I like, you know, because when you grow up with, you know, nothing, not to say that he did, but I know I did, you know. You get a little something, you don't want to lose it. So he didn't want to rock the boat.
Now listen here, my black friend, okay? You may be happy with your terms, but me, as the white liberal, I have determined that it's not acceptable. I must therefore speak on your behalf. Don't speak at all. I will speak on your behalf. Bro, the guy's clearly happy with his fucking lot. Leave him to it. What the fuck, dude? Who is it for you to determine what is and isn't reasonable if someone else is happy with it? You negotiate yourself. You negotiate your own terms. And if you're happy, then you're happy with it. And if it's not a union job, that kind of sucks. Well, go and get a union job then if you don't like working on a non-union job that doesn't have the same fucking benefits. It's, bro.
You don't want to lose it. So he didn't want to rock the boat. But he said, hey man, if that's how you feel, you know, like if that's like, I trust you. He stood with me. He went to that meeting with me. And I said my piece and he backed me up.
Oh no.
I said, I need XYZ or I'm out of here. And they said, bet. And they gave me a severance check the next day. And they gave him a severance check the next day. And if I knew...
Yeah, of course! Well, I don't know what happened, to be fair. I don't know what happened, okay? So basically, you got your friend fired even though he was happy with everything. Dude, you got wrecked. He needs to read Out of the Deal by Donald J. Trump, I think. Bro, dude, okay. If you were in a non-union job, okay, you do not have much leverage as an individual. And you need to engage in negotiation very cautiously because you don't have collective bargaining power like you do when you're in a union, okay? You cannot go into the fucking office and go, give me a pay rise or I'm gone, because they'll just get rid of you, okay? You need to be a lot more tactful in how you go about it because you've got very limited power. And you need to get to a point where you either get the pay rise and if you don't, you walk, right? You can't walk in there and start making demands like that, like, I'm going to be gone, because they'll just get rid of you because you're not a union worker. Oh my God, dude. Bro, you can't fucking do that, dude. And you roped your friend in as well. That's your fault. That's on you for being a retard, dude. Why am I supposed to... Okay. Why am I supposed to... Okay. I guess, yeah, sure, you know, that's bad and a mean thing to do from MrBeast's perspective, certainly. But I don't know why he's crying about this. Like, you fucked up by having too strong a negotiation stance when you don't have collectivized bargaining power because you're not part of you're not a union job. You've got to be a lot more tactful in how you handle that conversation. And you got your mate fucking fired too. What are you thinking, bro? That's ridiculous. No, he definitely can't feed his kid. I can easily imagine him going in there and being very bullish. You know, I can easily imagine him being very obnoxious and trying to go about that conversation.
If I knew he was going to lose his job too, I wouldn't have done it.
He's crying because he fucked up. Okay, if you're here, okay, let me make something clear to you cretinous retards who just want me to say, MrBeast bad, MrBeast bad, okay? I'm not about just going along with whatever the mainline narrative is to shit on MrBeast, okay? I'm going to look at a situation based on my own views on things and give what I think is a fair take on the situation, okay? If you want to watch someone suck themselves off whilst they shit on MrBeast, I'd recommend you fucking off to another channel, okay? Because I'm not going to fucking do that, because that's gay.
Me, I was over the moon. I was like, you're gonna give me a check and I get to leave? You know, I don't get to deal with the yeah. How many Orbeez can I fit up my asshole every day? You know, and I get to go home and you're gonna pay me to leave. I was over the moon, and he was devastated. He did not want. Listen, he's one.
Bro, oh my God. Yeah, you tried to start a union with 2 people, you fucking retard. What were you thinking? If you wanted to do that, you needed to quietly you either go and negotiate your own pay quietly as best you can in a calm fashion and a tactful way, and if you do it well, you may well get a result out of that, right?
Off depressed people.
Mainstream media hasn't condemned MrBeast yet, so Chud won't either.
Thank you for the $5. And that tends to be more successful if you're in a more premium position in the company. Like if you're a high-paid worker, you generally have got more individual bargaining power with your employer, right? If you're not in that situation and that doesn't have an approach it doesn't have the result that you want, or you're too worried about taking that approach, right? You need to collectively organize. You cannot just have 2 people go in because they'll just get rid of both of you. But if you went in there with every single person and made the same fucking claims, there's a level of protection that's offered because there's so many of you, and it becomes more difficult for them to just cut you off without negatively impacting whatever it is that they're doing, and therefore you're more likely to get the goods, and you probably can take a harder fucking line, right? You've literally done the worst possible thing. You've taken a strong bargaining line, you've gone in with one other person, right? And you've got no power, so they've just got rid of you. I'm not a union organizer. I just know a little bit about the mechanics of how it works. And obviously, you know, from my fucking leftoid shit, right? And you can't operate like this at this level. You need to take a different tact. And obviously, he didn't fucking... I doubt he even fucking looked into it. You know? How do I negotiate better pay at work? Google search. Boom. There you go. You get all the fucking answers. You raped your friend and then he got fired because of you. What a fucking retard, dude.
To be in the room, you know? And I really regret that. But, you know, me and him are really still tight. We're still good friends.
Is he doing good?
Yeah, he's doing good. He's a good guy. I love that guy.
Okay,
he's doing
that's
good.
wonderful. But how do I make money?
So maybe you feel better?
Honestly, best thing I could have done for him. Now that he's a very, very far removed from all...
Too old men to survive. Oh wait, he's Chinese and does it for free anyway.
Okay, thank you for the $5 Canadian. Over that, man.
That's crazy shit, I guess.
Do you think Jimmy really enjoys doing good and helping people?
I think Jimmy wants to be the best YouTuber. I think he is laser focused on one goal. And I think whatever he has to do to achieve that goal, he'll do. And I think it was the smartest decision for him.
Chud, he's crying because he realized he was retarded for pulling this dumb stunt. And you are getting taken in by it.
Wonderful.
You are getting
But how do I
taken in
make
by the
money
bullshit this
off
guy is
depressed
selling
people?
at this point in
The only
time.
way that a bullish tactic in negotiations works in non-union is when you are non-replaceable.
Yes.
They most likely were not.
Exactly, Eric. You got it. You know yourself. Exactly that. If you're on a 6-figure salary and you go to your boss and you're responsible for some part of your business that's quite complex and quite difficult to replace, and you say, I'm not happy with my terms, I'm getting better offers elsewhere, I want to negotiate for better pay, they'll hear you out. He did the equivalent of being a fucking line cook at McDonald's and going to the fucking CEO and saying, by himself, increase my pay or I'm leaving, in an at-will employment state. And they went, okay, then bye-bye. Well, no, I am not going to take it anymore. You don't have to. Here's your severance. A day's pay. Now fuck off. Yeah, I'll get to the Mr. Lexify response at some point, sure.
That he calculated, because he's very good with numbers, if I donate to charity, people can't say I'm shitty. If I give this homeless guy 10K, what do you mean I'm a bad guy? But I've always thought, if you're going to do something nice for somebody and you stick a camera in their face while you do it, that you didn't do a nice thing for somebody. You gained something. There was a homeless guy on the street and you saw an opportunity for yourself and your image.
Okay, dude. There is no such thing as a purely altruistic act, okay? It doesn't exist. Certainly you can argue that you're doing it for clout if you're putting a camera in someone's fucking face, okay? But when you give $5 to a homeless person, you're not doing it. It is impossible to differentiate your feelings and perception of that and the positive feeling that you get from the act. So therefore, that is not truly altruistic because you are benefiting from it in some much smaller way, certainly. Okay. Now, that's not to say that, you can't have a, that's not to say that you can't have this kind of like criticism of hiding behind charity. I think there is a reasonable criticism to be made there somehow, somewhere. But I'm so tired of this fucking, but he does good things, but it's with a camera. Yeah, of course, that's his fucking business. Yeah, lots of people do this. This is just the way of the world. People will use charity acts to make themselves look good.
And you gave one guy $10,000 who needed it to eat, and now the revenue you generated from that video is way more than what you gave.
There's something that we call altruism, but the point I'm making is it is impossible to distinguish a positive feeling that you get from doing it. You can't do that. I just don't think it's possible.
But how do I
Even if someone says they're not, they are.
People?
I pause from AliExpress. Run as soon as you see him.
Thank you. Yeah, I do subscribe to the idea there's no such thing as a truly 100% selfless act. But that's fine. We can recognize that and still operate accordingly. Right? Thank you for the super chat. So yeah, I don't know, dude. I just think, like, of course, MrBeast takes it to an extreme by recording it and stuff. But this is another flat criticism from me that I just don't really care about. Oh, he's filming people while he's doing nice things. Okay, yeah, sure. What would the alternative be to that, I guess? He does it quietly. But then his business is predicated on the idea of doing these things. So I just think it's a worthless criticism that doesn't really hold much weight. And again, there's other way more significant criticisms you can make of MrBeast than he does altruism on camera,
I think when he's generous on camera, it's the least authentic thing in the world. There's an element of, oh, hey, you're crying. That's so good for camera. I'm so glad if you're crying because you're so thankful that you got XYZ, and then you go, I'm so glad he needed it that bad so I could come in and, can you cry more? Oh, it's so good for the camera if you could. Oh, it made me uncomfortable that I was working there, and I didn't like it, and I vocalized it sometimes, and I think that's why I was.
I mean, first of all, you just cried for sympathy. You just altered yourself, first of all. And secondly, I mean, that's a pretty big claim. If that's true, that's kind of scummy, I guess. But, like, we're going off the word of a disgruntled ex-employee. I mean, I'm not really willing to 100% get on board with the extremity of some of these claims just off of his word. Is there anything that can back this up, in any meaningful way?
Wasn't on camera as much as they said I was going to be. I was told at one point that I was going to be like fourth banana, it was going to be Jimmy, Chris, Chandler, me, and then that never happened. I remember talking about that, like, hey, I thought my contract said XYZ. And then I got the severance checks. So, whatever, all that regard.
So after your severance checks, how was your relationship with the company? I know you appeared in videos after that, right?
Right. So in videos where I was appearing in...
God, and this interview as well, dude, it is... Oh, God. Is there going to be any... Like, I don't know, he's made a pretty big claim there. MrBeast was telling people to cry more for the camera. No following up on that. No asking for any sort of proof or evidence of these kind of more extreme claims that are being made. Wait, what? Just like, nodding along to anything he could possibly come up with. Yep. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I just think that out of a kind of due diligence, I think that there should be more pressing of this, particularly if you agree with what the guy's saying. It's more important, that you do that. Guys, I know about the last 5 minutes, okay? Obviously, if I'd have reacted to this live as it came out, I mean, I wouldn't have fucking known about that at the time. So I'm trying to give you the real raw reaction, despite having it somewhat spoiled by the discourse online, okay?
Later, that's why you keep nice publicly. If you're nice in public, hey, Jake was nice in public, let's have him back for something. Yeah, sure. So I was hoping they call back, And I appeared in some videos after I left. I think one of them was 3 days in a maximum security prison. If I did do mini challenges in that, I got paid. I was, clocked in with a rate, and I would get paid and compensated for those. But There was one video I was in. I got paid a lot for it, but it didn't. It didn't come out. It didn't come out because it didn't go well. There was a video that came out probably like a year ago, something like that. It got a lot of hot water when it came out. It was the like surviving like $10,000 every day you survive in solitary or surviving solitary for whatever. It was one of those solitary confinement videos that got a lot of media attention because everybody saw the premise and thought, "What? You shouldn't do that." And
I remember this.
People don't know that was the second attempt. The first attempt was on me, and it didn't go well.
Is he gonna cry again? Oh my God.
I was already planning on moving to New York, and I had worked at a couple of YouTube companies after Beast, and I had a little bit of change in my pocket. The most change I had in my pocket ever. Small potatoes, compared to Beast bullshit. But I thought I had enough to move to New York or whatever. And I get a call from somebody over there, and they go, "Hey, they want you for a video." I was like, "Oh, amazing, great, cool, thank God." What's the video? And they tell me the pitch. And they try to make the pitch sound like it's going to be like a walk in the park. The pitch is 100 days in solitary confinement. But don't worry, like you only have to last like 30. We have like a video. They're pitching it like at first it's going to be like a luxury vacation. You're going to have like a hot tub and an ice cream machine. And like part of the video is going to be you deciding like what items am I going to get rid of, today? And it's like the choice. They were like, it's only going to be bad for maybe the last like 5 days tops when you have like nothing left. You're the first, it's going to be like a breeze for most of it. And by the end of it, after 30 days, you're going to get $300,000 because it's $10,000 a day. And I don't know, man. I grew up poor in North Carolina. I said, "Excuse me? I'll dance for you if you put that kind of money in my face, sure." They were like, "You're going to be locked in this room, and we got to make sure you're on all the time. We're going to have cameras on you all the time, and you're perfect for this because you never shut the fuck up." On paper, I was like, "Okay, I can do this," and I was. They always cut me out of the videos. They always, and I was, editors have told me that it's because you have too much of a personality. And so with this video, I thought, this is perfect. It's a video they can't cut me out of. I'm the guy. And so I thought, well,
let me hear what happens as a result of this, because my initial instinct here is, okay, so you got paid a shitload of money to do some terrible thing. I mean, yeah, it sucks to do the terrible thing, but you got paid a shitload of money to do it, so I don't really know what you've got to complain about, right? Even if they oversold it a bit to you. Anyway, let's see.
If I have to do this, if I have to do solitary confinement in order to do the things I want to do, then I will do that. That I held my tongue and I swallowed my pride and I tried to do one last.
You literally don't. You literally don't. Obviously, getting paid that amount of money is exceptional, right? Normally, people have just got a normal job and they work, a 9 to 5 and get paid $30,000-$40,000 per annum. I mean, some people get paid less than that, but the median salary is like what, $32,000 in America or something like that. Like, many people will just work a normal job to support their lifestyle. Clearly you want a lot of money. You want to get rich quick, so you're doing these fucking crazy stunts in order to get that. I mean, that's you agreeing to that, right? Unless they didn't pay you or they fucked up in some way, like that's a fair trade as far as I'm concerned.
Ride. And I get there, and at first it's fine. And I mean, they had just freshly painted the set. You could smell it, which that's probably not good. The smell of fresh paint in your surroundings for the next XYZ time. It looked good on the visual. Like it looks good on camera. It's movie magic bullshit. It was a terrible facility. I mean, it was in one of the studios. They had to get a separate tank for septic stuff. Yeah, there was a hot tub in it. Yeah, there was an ice cream machine. Things were cool and funny on paper. But when you think about stuff, a hot tub that's not connected to a filtration system, give it 3 days, it's gonna stink. If there's not a hot water mechanism, so the hot tub was a lukewarm tub at best, which was a silly complaint, but the shower was...
I was getting paid $10,000 a day, and the hot tub wasn't very nice. Come on, dude.
It's always cold, and you're taking a quick shower, and I had cameras 24/7 on me, and the ice cream machine. Let's talk about that for a second. The ice cream machine has 2 modes.
Okay, that's wonderful.
On,
but how do I make money off of these people?
And
So,
off,
I think this guy
reeking of smelly dairy, mildew, Like, so I got to choose which sense was assaulted at a time. I couldn't have all of them good. So the little things started to build up. You know, there was like the bug thing wasn't like terrible, but it was a factor. And like at first it was fine, you know, and you're
unfiltered, unhygienic bath. No, the hot tub. The hot tub. He wasn't bathing in the fucking hot tub, was he? I mean, if he was, that's going to explain the problem. You don't bathe in a hot tub.
Money off depressed people?
See, he's just said he had a shower.
Presumably
he had shower facilities.
Beaten into MC, or husband or kids were missing and were never this manic when talking about it.
You guys are just desperate for any possible angle with which to fucking get on board. Like, there's plenty to go at MrBeast for. Apparently, the end of this video is very bad, which we'll get to. I mean, unless he reveals he wasn't paid or something. If he wasn't paid for this, obviously I'd be totally against that. But, you know, getting paid a lot of money to do some stupid stunt for a YouTube video and it's unpleasant and uncomfortable. I mean, yeah, I would expect that. I mean, I don't think you're getting paid £10,000 for a holiday. It's because it's going to be uncomfortable and they're going to document that in the video, right?
playing it up, like, because you know it's a video. And it got to a point where, like, they weren't turning the lights off. You know, I asked them, I said, can we, like, have, like, nighttime hours? You know? And they said no, because it would fuck up the time-lapse shots. The time-lapse of what? Me sleeping? Or me not sleeping? Yeah, I saw in other videos they did like, oh, you're going to get XYZ hours of sunlight. Oh, great! Want to know how they figured that one out? I didn't have it. You know, one of the things was you got to take away your clock, so you didn't know what time it was. Okay, I got no access to sun. I got no access to clock.
God, dude.
I don't know, like, the lights are on me all the time. I wasn't sleeping. I could not sleep, and I have insomnia problems now. But they might have started there. I had good people looking out for me.
The thing is, obviously, he's explaining it a certain way. If they didn't accurately explain to him the nature of what was going to happen, like, obviously they should do that, right? And if there was stuff in there that wasn't explained or something, that's wrong. But we don't know what was and wasn't explained. We're going off of his word. Presumably he had some sort of contract that he signed, I would guess. Although MrBeast does seem to be pretty incompetent in some of this stuff, so I don't know. But in any case, I'm waiting to hear the tail end of this to see where the really bad stuff happens. Because so far it's just, oh, this stupid challenge I had to do for $10,000 a day was more uncomfortable than I thought it was going to be. I mean, okay, bro.
For me.
Okay, David, you are getting timed out for a day. Because I'm sick of you fucking ADHD retards, okay, that cannot fucking understand what the point of a live react to something is. No, I am going to yap because that's the whole point of my fucking channel, okay? 24 hours. There we go. Come back tomorrow. Bro, shut the fuck up. Listen, I'm the fucking streamer. You're the viewer. Sit down, shut the fuck up, and if you don't like it, go watch something else. Simple. Well, you're going to have to now because you're fucking timed out.
I had a lot of good people looking out for me saying, this, we got to stop. So I just wanted to turn the lights off. And I'm vocalizing to people, I wish the lights would turn off. And I go up to my friend, my good friend. And I go, they're not turning the lights off. He goes, what? That's a war crime. We're not allowed to do that to terrorists.
The United Nations considers sleep deprivation to be a form of torture and war crime. The UN defines torture as any physical or mental pain or suffering, and sleep deprivation... Wait, no. Sleep deprivation is a war crime. Leaving the lights on is not a fucking war crime. What are you on about, dude? Does this guy really think that having this unpleasant experience doing this stupid YouTube challenge, getting paid $10,000 a day, is comparable to what was going on at fucking Abu Ghraib or the CIA black sites that fucking were going on? Bro, this guy's fucking... This is absurd, bro. Bro, you are not being war crimed, okay? By the way, guys, do you know what one of the downsides of having a war crime committed against you is? You're not getting paid for doing it, and it's a lot worse than what your perception of it is based on this, okay? And also, you can leave at any point, right? You could just leave. If it really was that unpleasant, you'd just leave, wouldn't you?
Oh, good. 24 hours breaking the Geneva Convention, I guess, is what we're doing.
No. The Geneva Convention does not fucking apply here. What are you on about? You agreed to do this. You said you would do it and you can leave at any point. You're not being imprisoned. What are you on about, bro?
So, you know, they're giving me, you know, melatonin, you know, it's not helping, you know, and then Jimmy would come in like every other day for like an hour, you know, to check in on me because he's doing other stuff. You know, I'm just the guy in the cage over here. He'll come back to me in a minute. And so he'd come by, he'd get the shots, he'd leave. Sometimes he'd have a note from the director over the phone. That would really piss me off. This is a note I got from the director from Jimmy.
Yeah. Now I understand what the Jews felt like in 1940s fucking mainland Europe. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Auschwitz was like a holiday compared to this. This is so stupid, dude. You can leave at any point. You can walk out if it's that much of a problem. Isn't that the point of it? I thought the point of these challenges was to make it unpleasant in order to incentivize you to leave or push you to leave. And then you don't and you stick it out. And that's what makes the content entertaining. You desperately trying to wrangle with how unpleasant it is whilst recognizing that each day you stay and you get paid $10,000. Hey guys, it's Jimmy from MrBeast here.
That's wonderful.
We're here at Auschwitz-Birkenau, and we got 100 Jews. How long can they survive? Like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into it. That's fucking... That is insane. That is insane. Come on, dude.
When I'm receiving some cash.
Well, guys, we've got to the end of the challenge, and all of the Jews are still alive. I don't know what... Bit weird. I wasn't expecting that. Anyway.
He said, Jimmy said, can you say to the camera how thankful you are that now you can pay back your student loans? You know how hard it was to do a take of that?
Wait, what?
This is a note I got from the director from Jimmy when I'm receiving some cash. He said, Jimmy said, can you say to the camera how thankful you are that now you can pay back your student loans? You know how hard it was to do a take of that? And pretend to make it genuine? I don't want to have student loans. I don't want to be in a cage.
What? I feel like I'm going insane watching this. Well, don't do the challenge then. Don't agree to do a challenge for some absurd amount of money, bro. Like, go and get a normal job then, dude. That's what everyone else has to do. Bro, this is like fucking Hassan level moaning. Oh, I had to do some gay challenge. It was unpleasant for a while to get a shitload of money. And I got to pay on my student loans and oh God, this is ridiculous, dude. I thought those challenges were like each day you stayed in, you got $10,000. And that's the whole point of it, right? Because people are saying, oh, no, I don't think he had to stay in the full time to get all the money. I think it was each day he stayed, he got $10,000. And then therefore it's, oh, if I stay in, I'll stick it out so I can get some more money, no? This is like an abused victim staying with their abusers. Oh my God, you people are insane, bro. Mental and emotional manipulation to make the victim stay. The guy mentioned he's desperate for money, so he stayed for the money. The money being $10,000 a day. $10,000 a fucking day. What do you mean he's like an abuse victim, bro? You people are utterly insane and aren't looking at this in a fair or legitimate analysis. You just want to fucking go on the hate train and every single criticism is completely valid, even no matter how retarded it is.
But Jimmy's the guy with the money, and if you do what he says, he'll do what you want. You want your student loans paid off? You just be in this cage. And you have power over people. When one person doesn't have resources and the other one does, and they hold it over your head, and you go, of course, yeah, I agreed to it. I needed it, of course. Just something about like...
Okay, guys, let me ask you in chat. You need money to go about your day-to-day life. What do you do? Because this guy seems to be suggesting that the only option you've got is to do some crazy challenge for some insane amount of money. How do you guys survive? You guys, I'm presuming, aren't doing MrBeast challenges to make money. What do you guys do? Is there another option, perhaps, that we're not thinking about here, bro? This is so retarded, dude.
Having the cameras on me all the time. Like I was not having a good time, but we were filming a video, so I was trying my best to be funny. You know, I'm a dark comic. You know, I got bits about. I had a very traumatic life. I have my dad is in jail for sexual assault of a minor. You know, so this kind of stuff is very near to my heart. You know, I don't fuck around with this shit. Yeah, I have jokes about that in my act. You know, I joke about it because that's what you do in a traumatic experience. You know, abusive relationships. I get out of it. The first thing I do is I do a typine about it. You know, so I'm in this situation where I.
Okay, well, how much was that? How long did he stay, and how much was he paid? How much money did he make off of this? Is the video up on YouTube?
My mental health is not good. My physical health is getting worse, but we're filming, so I'm doing bits. I'm talking to the camera. And I'm being, you know, like, hey, it's been a couple days. I'm not doing so hot, you know.
He got 100K. But what, 10 or let's say 11 days? Maybe it was just under 11 days. I don't know. Wait, what? Is that confirmed? Okay, it was canned, but even if it's canned, presumably they still have to pay him, right? You can't be like, oh, we can't use the footage, so we're not going to pay you. Presumably you signed a contract, which would have meant they had to pay him regardless, no?
Which, if I'm filming a video, that's what I should be doing for the camera, but it was too real. If they're faking videos, why couldn't we fake this one? You know, if we're allowed to let these cast members have some...
No, my take is not twisted at all. You guys are fucking insane. Person A, we've got this challenge where you're going to stay in a fucking box for a period of time. We'll pay you a shitload of money to do it. He's claiming that they undersold it. Maybe they did, but you know, it's going to be unpleasant. But yeah, you'll get paid a shitload of money to do it. Okay. I think I'm going to do that. Does the challenge, can leave at any time, stays on for as long as he can, makes 100K. And I'm supposed to be outraged about that. You're fucking delusional if you think you should be outraged about that. You're just on a anti-MrBeast, anything goes. And bear in mind, I've got lots of criticism of MrBeast, something that comes out later, which I think is way more worthy of condemnation here, okay? But no, you're retarded. You're utterly fucking retarded if you think that's some sort of unfair thing that's happened. The guy's fucking laughing.
But how do I make money
all the way to the bank, and you're fucking crying tears for him. Give me a fucking break, bro.
Sell themselves for $50, and this guy would demand $1 billion. SMZ8.
Thank you for the super chats.
Some time off of this difficult challenge. How come we couldn't turn the lights off? How come we couldn't maybe not have some time lapse footage for 10 seconds?
Did you try to get out?
Yes. I was starting to calculate. I don't know if I could do 30. How much can I? Well, how can I manage to get out of here sooner and still have a video and still have some cash and get the plug, man? I did. Since we're doing time lapse shots and since they insisted on time lapse shots, I said, all right, we're gonna do time lapse shots. Bet. I put my YouTube on with the whiteboard they gave me. And I was like, all right, yeah, go ahead and scrub that footage. You know, you got that whiteboard. Oh no, either that goes in or this footage is unusable. And then, you know, James Warren came in and erased it. You know, fucking, don't put that. Hey, we can torture him. Don't you dare let him get a plug in there. You know,
torture.
Like we were playing.
I'm going to waterboard you for 10 days. Okay, but you can leave at any point. You can leave right now if you want. I'm just not going to pay you $100,000 if you leave right now. And you leave. I mean, bro, like, the idea you calling this torture is fucking absurd. They're trying to unironically fucking argue that this was some sort of, like, they're trying to equivocate it, some war crime, bro. It's nuts.
Playing up the joke, you know, it's like, I'm the boy in the cage, you know, whatever. Like, I'll play into a joke, whatever, it's fine. It's just something weird about when Jimmy jokes. I have jokes about my dad because I love jokes with my dad. I'll joke with my dad all the time. That guy's a piece of shit. Hey, my dad. But I have friends that make fun of my dad. That's fine, because I know their intent. I know where they're coming from. When Jimmy joked with my dad, and I said that to seem weird. I don't like it. We were doing that, one of those hide and seek videos. Again, at the time, they were a lot realer. So I got caught. And when you get caught, you go to the place where you get caught. And I don't know if there's footage of this. I don't know if, I definitely didn't make the final cut. But he says to me, all right, you're going to jail, like your dad. And like, it's a joke. But when my friends do it, it's fine. And Jimmy just wasn't my friend. He was my boss. And that wasn't cool.
Okay, that's
and so
wonderful.
now...
But how do I make money off depressed people?
Yes, thank you for the $2. I will be checking that out at some point. There's a lot to get through, but over the next few days, we'll cover all the good stuff. Don't worry, we've got it on lock, okay? Yeah, this is just worthless. I mean, yeah, sure. I'd agree on a fundamental level. MrBeast should not be making those kind of jokes, certainly. I think that's totally reasonable to have a problem with. But fuck me if he's not overselling it. Jesus.
I'm locked in a cage at his whim. And I have to do things to get the cash I need to live.
What is he on about? You can get a job! You can just get a normal job, 9 to 5, and get paid 30, 40k, whatever. Obviously, you don't get paid as much money on an annual basis, but then that's the point, isn't it? You're not having to subject yourself to some insane contraption to get it. Like, this is the thing. You're getting paid so much money because it's for some crazy video that puts you in a difficult situation for content's sake. What is going on, bro? I'm so confused. Who are these people that think, oh, well, if you want to make a lot of money, you either have to go into the contraption or just die, I guess. Right? Just get a job then, if you don't want to do the contraption.
And I got these cameras on me all the time. And I was unwell. I had editors coming up to me saying, you good, bud? And I was like, yeah, why? You're clearly unwell. And he goes, well, because the footage you're sending in is haunting. Because I'm trying to be funny, but I am mentally decaying, so I'm doing bits. Someone said there is a horror cut of a video in this. And I'm sitting like, who's watching this? Like, who wants to see this? What is fun about this, wonderful. The video?
But how do I make
and so
money?
The thing that made me want to, I gotta get out. I can't do it.
MrBeast is the Jimmy Savile of YouTube, if not worse.
Thank you for the $5 Australian. The people that are buying into this are utterly retarded with no critical thinking skills, by the way, okay? Because obviously the presentation of this is from his end to make it sound as bad as possible, okay? Whereas if I was to flip this around and you hadn't seen this, and I said to you, oh, someone had to do some insane reality TV show challenge and live in a box for 10 days, but they got paid $100,000, you'd probably, it's like the classic thing, would you do X for this much money? You'd probably fucking agree to it and go, yes, I would, actually. But because he's fucking crying while he's saying it, you're like, oh, poor guy, you're retarded.
Another day in a year, Jimmy comes in and I'm asleep. I don't know what time it is. I don't know, it's like 2 or 3 or whatever. He's like, why is he sleeping? I don't know, because I can't sleep. And he comes in, he wakes me up. And he goes, ask me why I have 2 briefcases. And I'm like, why do you have 2 briefcases? And he goes, oh, because this one's for today, and this one's for the challenge. And I go, what's the challenge today? He goes, you're gonna run a marathon. You're gonna do the 22.6K, whatever it is. And you're gonna do it on that treadmill over there. The first challenge I did was a Rubik's Cube, and I'm dyslexic, I'm dumb, I don't know how to do a Rubik's Cube. So your first challenge, Rubik's Cube. I was like, oh, I don't want to do it. I was like, on camera, I don't want to do it. He goes, just do it for the thing, like, kid, Like, there was an element of, oh, Jake will do what we want because he's in-house. That's one of the reasons why they got me. Jake's, he's an inside guy, so he'll do whatever. We can push him a little extra hard because we know he's good. I couldn't say no to the treadmill thing. Yeah. So I people who run marathons train forever, and it's still hard. Again, writer. Do I look like I run? I don't run, let alone a marathon, let alone that training for it. So I was in a sunlightless,
Did you try to say no? Like, did you have a choice, or? Based on the Rubik's Cube thing and based on all the other stuff, like, there was so much pressure to just do it, just do the thing, And if I refuse, it's just,
Oh, that's the whole video. I guess the budget's, so much money up in flames because Jake said he wouldn't want to do the thing. And so I wanted to be a good sport, and I wanted to get the boost, and I wanted the cash, and so I started running at 12. I was able to take some breaks and.
Bro, maybe it's because Karate Soprano, Naked and Afraid, Fear Factor, Survivor, all fine. People don't have a problem with it because it's MrBeast. I've seen people eat like fucking balls, testicles, and maggots and shit, and scrubs and bugs. Scrub bugs. I've seen like crazy stuff. People in the jungle having to fucking, get filmed sleeping in a fucking leaf shack for like 2 weeks or something like that, And with that, it's like you have to win to get the money. You have to actually win to get anything out of it. You don't even get any money just for participating, right? You get the chance of winning some money, and they do it. And I'm like, I don't really care about that much. It's like you're signing your own death warrant, essentially. But with this, I'm supposed to feel bad when this guy got enriched by doing this. I mean, it's just absurd, dude. It's just ridiculous.
I asked him, how long do I have? He goes, until I get back. And I'm running until 3 a.m. I got off the treadmill.
Oh, he's crying
the blisters I had on my feet were like, you wouldn't believe, just all over, just these big red. I couldn't walk. My muscles were like just the lactic acid. I got off the treadmill, and then the people that came in to like ice my feet, make sure I was good. Then that's when I was like, I'm done. I can't. I'm done. I'm out. I'm out. And that's when I get psych in, and I talk to the psych about how I'm not well, and
So they're a psychiatrist on hand, because one thing in the back of my mind I'm thinking is, are they like, look, reality shows are kind of fucked, okay, and they're not always good with this kind of stuff.
Depressed people.
Thank you for the 130, but the fact they got a psychiatrist there, like, makes me think, well, at least they had some sort of like safeguarding measures in place. Do you know what I mean? Like, if there's a psychiatrist on hand to speak to you, that would suggest they've at least got some consideration of the ramifications of this that they want to manage somewhat, right?
People?
This guy is mewling like a hurt kitten. It's pathetic.
Thank you for the $5.
Like I said, there was a lot of good people over there that was saying, you got to pull him out. Yeah, I had friends that did some freelance work, and they would tell me, they'd be like, yeah, everyone knows you over there, everybody loves you. They go, oh, Jake Weddle, love that guy. Shame what happened to him.
Guess you're the type who called those air crash victims crocodile tears because he got paid off from the death insurance. Are you seriously comparing this guy having to put up with an unpleasant reality experience for 10 days to someone losing a loved one from an airplane crash? Are you absolutely for real right now? That is utterly... You are living in a different plane of reality to me if you believe something like that, dude.
Like I'm a ghost. And I asked him, I said, how much longer are you guys going to keep me in here? And the guy goes, realistically, like at least 7 more days? No. And they didn't let me leave right away either. They wanted to make sure, everything was fine. So I just, slept for a while.
Nicholas, oh my God, I'm glad you're here. You apparently watched this. I need just a bit of a sense check from you, mate, right? Am I crazy here, or is this guy moaning about complete bullshit, doing some challenge and getting paid 100K for staying in an unpleasant cube, essentially? For fucking, is this not a crazy thing to moan about? No? What's going on here? People in chat are arguing, telling me, no, this is abuse and you need to fucking believe the victim.
They turned the lights off. And it's like they brought in all my friends, to make it. They brought in all the people I liked, and Jimmy. Then everybody was around me, making sure I was good, making sure I was okay. But Jimmy had his he was sitting in the chair, turned around like an.
No, I did the same thing. The one thing I'll say is that it's funny that they are basically begging him to fake the video now. If he fakes all this shit, why do 30 days of this? Yeah, that's actually a good point. Oh, you're faking your videos. You're faking your videos, and that's bad. And then they actually put someone into the contraption for real. And it's like, oh no, don't do that either. That's also bad. What the fuck do you want them to do then? Either they do it for real and some dude gets crushed in the contraption and you cry about that, or they fake it and you cry about that as well.
Evil villain. Swear to God. Everyone was looking at me and he was like Lex Luthor over there. He turns around.
If someone waterboarded this guy, Chud would say, what's the problem? They got a glass of water. If someone said, if there was an agreement and party A said to party B, we're going to waterboard you for $10,000. And they said, yes, I want to be waterboarded for $10,000. That's going to be very unpleasant when it happens, okay? But they've made an agreement to do some insane shit for a bunch of money. As long as there's safety measures, as long as they don't die, then yeah, of course, it's totally reasonable that someone would want that to happen, right? I think I draw the line at like long-term damage or something probably for that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, it's totally like waterboarding is, what do they call it? Enhanced interrogation. It's obviously fucked, right? I mean, I don't agree with it as an actual technique. But, you know, in terms of like, if someone wants to do something deeply unpleasant for money, that's up to them at the end of the day. Like, it's your decision. I guess that if there was to be a criticism here, it would be, you know, did MrBeast do enough prior to it to make, like, I think you've got to do the right checks to make sure that someone is applicable to do that sort of thing. And I can imagine through negligence that maybe didn't happen. So maybe there's a criticism there. But broadly speaking, I mean, you know, I'm sure the guy would probably be annoyed if he didn't get picked to do it because he wouldn't have made this money. So you can't really win. But in any case, I just think that, yeah, if someone wants to do something deeply unpleasant that doesn't cause long-term harm for a big amount of money, I mean, that's fucking reality TV for you.
He stands up. He does the exact same thing when he's pretending to have a human connection. You know when you're watching a video and he's
pretty sure he didn't. How do you know what he did and didn't agree to? Okay, and also what torture are you talking about? In any case, we've only got his side of it where he's literally crying as a disgruntled employee about what happened. We don't fucking know the ins and outs of what exactly did happen, what the contract says, what the agreement was. And that is all potentially valid information to look at to assess this. But, you know, you guys are just fucking retarded. Chud, let's see if you can sleep 10 days with an all-white room without the light switched off without a clock. No, because I'm not that desperate for money that I would put my own, you know, humanity on the line like that. I'm fine doing what I'm doing. I've just got, you know, this, which pays pretty well, and I'm able to do what I want to do with it, right? I'm not sat here, you guys are so fucking retarded, it's unbelievable. Every fucking person has got a job. Okay, not every person, but most people have got a job. So they don't have to subject themselves to these insane things. And if he doesn't want to do shit like this, he doesn't have to. He can just go and get a normal job. He agreed to do it.
He's like, oh, stop, you're going to make me cry. And he like touches his eye or whatever as if he's crying. He's just... I didn't have to pretend to do that shit. She says, you. As if rehearsed by his lawyers. Yeah, you know, your mental health's the most important thing. You know, I just want to make sure you're okay. And the last thing we want you to do is... I can almost hear the word Sue come out of his mouth. The S, he just stopped right before it got out.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
The same people he calling this abused would support a Finder Me girl.
Thank you for the $10. How is there no ethics concern, Chud? Like, if I was a millionaire, I could go to poor and homeless people and convince them to do anything for money. Well, if you've got a problem with that, do you know what's the worst thing to take issue with? Prostitution. Maybe have a go at fucking prostitution or something. Because guess what? These people that are sucking dicks on the side of the street aren't exactly fucking wealthy. Let's put it that way. Okay? Like, yes, happens all the time in our society. And there's some stuff where it crosses a line. And I would agree with you. Right? But we're not dealing with some wretched person getting paid $5 to suck some dick. We're talking about some... Oh my God, you people are so insufferable about this. Are my eyes twitching because I've had too many energy drinks? I'm annoyed with the retards in chat.
I did not get the 300K. Okay. But I got... He goes, think of it this way. At least you get to keep what you earned. You know, you were in there for XYZ days. You did XYZ challenges, so you got, you know,
Oh my God. Right. This is what I'm talking about. The people that are like, keep defending him, keep defending him. I'm not defending MrBeast, okay? I don't give two fucks about MrBeast. I think MrBeast is exposed as the worst of what is being claimed because that's better for me and that's more content for me. I've got no love for MrBeast. I don't fucking care about MrBeast. I'm just pointing out the problems with the criticism against him. That doesn't mean I'm defending the person that's being criticized to say, well, there's problems with what you're claiming here. Your claims of victimhood are substandard. They're not adequate. They're not enough for me to get on board with what you're claiming here. That's not a defense of MrBeast. That's a criticism of someone that's trying to claim to be the victim when they're not. Okay? And I have been more than critical of MrBeast for the things that I do think are worthy of criticism. Okay? Like the fact there doesn't seem to be, and this is maybe even revealed later, spoiler alert from what I understand, but the Ava Chris Tyson stuff, there was no conception of childhood protection or safety in how Ava Chris Tyson has been dealt with, right? And there's a thing later which we'll get to. So I'm not fucking shy about criticizing MrBeast, but I'm not going to accept and take what I think are shoddy criticisms just because MrBeast is a bad guy now. Like, you people are so fucking brain dead, you just want someone to watch it and go, yeah, MrBeast is bad. Oh, MrBeast is so bad. Oh my God, he basically tortured this guy. It's a war crime. I'm not going to do that for you. That's not me. Fuck off. Oh my God, guys, I'm not going to think critically about this. And I'm just going to repeat MrBeast bad 100 times. Go and watch one of the fucking thousands of commentary slop channels that just say MrBeast bad 100 times, okay? And just uncritically accept any criticism or narrative about him. That's not me. I'm not your commentary slop channel, okay? There's plenty of people that do it, but that's not what I do here. If you want that, fuck off. Holy shit, dude.
100,000 some change, you know, give or take. You know how much money I spent in taxes in 2021? I spent $44,000 in taxes alone. And now I spent all that money on doing stand-up. I bought plane tickets to go do comedy festivals.
Wait, what?
And that was what you earned. You know, you were in there for XYZ days. You did XYZ challenges, so you got, you know, 100,000 some change.
Okay, that's
you know?
wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
You, wheelchair symbol, wheelchair symbol, wheelchair symbol. In chat, defend this guy when he spent the money on a failed comedy career instead
Thank you
of
for the
his
$5
student
super chat.
loans.
Bro, he got... So that's confirmation. He got... Well, he's claiming at least. I mean, I don't know why he'd lie about that. This guy got over $100,000, and I'm supposed to feel bad for him for having an unpleasant experience for what, 10 or 11 days? Okay, anyway, it goes on.
You know, 100,000 some change, you know, give or take. You know how much money I spent in taxes in 2021? I spent $44,000 in taxes alone. And now...
Yeah. That's right. If we earn a lot of money, we have to pay more tax. That is indeed how the system works, correct? And if it's anything like the UK, you've got progressive taxes, where over a certain amount you get taxed more on that money. Yes, this is called being an adult. I have to contend with this as well. You know, you earn more money, it's great in the moment, but then you've got to pay more tax on it down the line. The higher that you go, you get... Yeah, of course. How is anyone acting like this is like a legit victimization or criticism? It's insane to me, bro.
I spent all that money on doing stand-up.
But how do I
what?
make money off depressed people?
Was this guy born in one of those human pods from the Matrix? This guy genuinely couldn't hold a job for longer than a month.
Thank you for the super chat.
And now I spent all that money on doing stand-up. I bought plane tickets to go do comedy festivals. You know, my family back home, I gave them a bunch of stuff that they needed. And haven't been back on a Beast set in any official capacity or unofficial capacity since then.
So you got a lump sum and you fritted it away, as we would say over here. You spent it on a comedy career. I mean, that just sounds like a bad investment. Yeah, if you've put the money into a comedy career and that hasn't panned out, that's a bad business decision on your part. Yes, that's your fault. This why, dude, what? Yeah, he's talking about student loans. Why don't you pay that off? That would have been a better thing to do with the money, surely. But instead you invested it in some sort of
Okay, that's wonderful.
unrealized comedy career.
Off depressed people.
Thank you for the $2. Bro, it always annoys when people say stuff like this, because when I first started making content, obviously I had to be cautious with what I spent, right? I remember spending like equivalent of $30 on a mic arm.
Okay, that's wonderful.
And that was made.
How do I make
That was very
money
cautiously that I
off
made that
people?
decision.
I want you to know that you are indeed my commentary slop channel, Chud.
Based.
You don't have to like it, but it's true. You.
Thank you for the super chat. And it was only as time went on that I thought, okay, maybe I can afford this now. You know, when I very first started streaming, I was streaming off a laptop and I purchased a second screen that was like super cheap. And then I ended up using a TV as my second monitor for fucking about a year, right? Once I got that out of storage after I moved. Like, I was on a fucking bare bones setup because I recognized I can't put too much fucking money into this because I'm not making much money out of it and I need to grow it before I can do that, right? Like, obviously,
Okay,
you don't
wonderful.
just invest money
But how
into
do I
something
make
that doesn't have any
money
legs
off
yet.
depressed people?
You go cautiously. Thank you for the $2. Appreciate it. You don't just go and splurge a bit of money on stand-up. You go, right, I want to do stand-up. I'm going to give it a tickle and see how it goes. Let's see what locally I can do. Okay, I'll put aside, you know, $5,000 of that money, and I'll just put that into traveling to these comedy gigs and see what happens, right? As a little test. I'll keep the rest, use it wisely. Like, why are you getting plane tickets for comedy gigs? Why don't you just focus on what you can do locally, get a bit of fucking practice and work up to something and see if you can get a bit of a break or have something going on? Yeah, exactly. Dip your toes in, test the water, don't go all in and cry when you get fucked. Yeah, exactly.
And then
Okay,
they
that's
did the
wonderful.
video.
But
Dude,
how do I make money
thank you for the
off
10
depressed
You
people?
guys have been
This
very
whole
generous, thank
time
you.
I thought you were streaming from the set of a MrBeast challenge.
I am in a MrBeast challenge. I got to stream for 10 years. Stream for 10 years and see what happens, okay? And get paid maybe some money at the end.
Unofficial capacity since then. And then they did the video with somebody else, and they worked out the kinks. And then I'd still gotten some hot water, and I knew it would. And I've wanted to say a lot of this for a long, long, long time. And I feel good now. I just had to get that out there.
So I just want to hop in here and show some text that Jake sent me after this interview.
Bro, this is completely ridiculous. This is the classic, like, you're being emotionally manipulated if you think this guy's got a case in this specific thing here. This is fucking retarded, dude. There's like literally, he agreed to do an unpleasant reality show style thing for a bunch of money, did it, got paid, wasted the money, and we're supposed to feel bad, forgot taxes exist, and I'm supposed to feel bad for him.
This is July 29, 2021, a few days after you got out of solitary. How are you feeling after a few days? Better. I still couldn't sleep, even a few days out, but I almost have my sleep cycle back on track. My legs and joints are good,
wonderful.
but the blisters
But how
on
do
my
I make
feet still hurt to walk
money
on.
off depressed people?
Medical advice
Every
I got was
comedian is
not
destined
to
to be
lance them
deaf
and just let them go away with
Funny
time.
men are the
I'm
saddest
mentally
men.
still in an uneasy place, but I've gotten back on better help. My therapist is a little concerned, but we are working on things. Reminder, this is not supposed to be a traumatic life event. This is supposed to be a
So he's an idiot who got hoodwinked into doing ethical things. It's still messed up of MrBeast to take advantage of weak-minded people like him. Take advantage! He got paid $100,000! What do you mean, take advantage? What do you mean? Apparently, is this correct? They allegedly didn't even use the footage. Is that right? He got blisters from doing the running challenge, from doing the marathon challenge, apparently.
MrBeast video. Hey Jake, hope you're doing okay. Meg and I just wanted to check in on you. Hey, I'm good and I appreciate that. I'm not exactly 100%. I feel like mentally I'm still recovering a bit, but back in therapy and my therapist is concerned. Haha, but my legs and joints feel better. Like I can walk, but my feet are still covered on Those blisters and those hurt to walk on, but I was told the best thing to do is stay off my feet and let them heal. I'm in Raleigh with my family. Also, it'll be like a month before I get the money, and they aren't giving me all the money.
Okay, that's
They're
wonderful.
giving me
but how do
what I
make
want.
money off depressed people?
I think what happened is tragic. He spent the money on a comedy career when he should have been winning in casino. It's crazy how much money casinos lose to make us rich. Put it all on black.
True, he should become a gambler. Thank you for the $10, Nicholas. I mean, yeah. If the challenge is stay for 30 days and get 300k, and you only stay for 10 days, you're only going to get paid. Well, why would they pay you the full whack? Isn't that the challenge?
One up to that point in the game, which was also a slap in the face, but hey, I'm out, I'm alive. Therapist who knows and cares about you. The whole thing was so fucked, and honestly, fuck them for not giving you the money. Meg and I are wishing you the best with your recovery, and please feel free to reach out if you need anyone to talk to or need a place to crash in New York. Hope you're doing well, man. That video you uploaded is money. So good. I appreciate.
Okay, that's
I'm
wonderful.
doing better
But how
physically.
do I
Mentally,
make
I'm still
money
kind of in a
off depressed
place.
people?
As
I
a
still can't
30-year-old
sleep.
Man, if this man was acting an employee of MrBeast, there are absolutely employer law violated. How he spent the money is irrelevant.
Okay, what do you mean? We're not talking, like, obviously, dude, obviously, right? If you're a manager of someone in like a traditional business setting, right? Yeah, there'd probably be difficulties from an employment law perspective of saying, hey, come into the contraption for a bit and then we'll see what happens. But I don't think that was the nature of their relationship. Like, it's more of a reality TV style relationship from what I understand, right? You know, I think that the one criticism that I think would hold the most weight for me would be that it's possible, I don't know the full ins and outs of it, it's possible that they didn't adequately check his mental health situation, because normally, before you go into these sorts of things, they do like mental health checks on you and shit like that. So I don't fucking know, you know, the ins and outs of what that looked like. But yeah. Stop saying 100k, it's bullshit. They took out that 44k for taxes. It's normal for employers to pay the taxes for you. What are you on about? If you get a salary of $100,000 per annum, you get paid $100,000 pre-tax. And yes, you then, I mean, in the UK, that your employer does PAYE, which is they sort the taxes out. But that comes out of your total pay. That's how it works, yes. It's the problem that none of you worked a job before or understand any of this. Is that the issue with this sort of shit?
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
If those messages were from his BetterHelp therapist, it's exactly as professional as I expected. Trash service should be junked with the entire employee base.
Thank you for the 333. And also, he's not an employee. He's a contractor. So if you're a contractor, you have to deal with your taxes yourself. Right? I'm fucking, well, I don't know what you call my relationship with YouTube, etc. But I'm self-employed, so I have to file my own taxes. There's no one to do it for me unless I pay someone. Fuck me, you people are so stupid.
I've slept 5 hours in the past 3 days, marathon included. I don't know what's wrong with me. Lots of thinking, too much, one might say. Hope they're taking care of you where they can. I mean, I was kind of shocked they didn't pay me for the full 25, 30 days. They paid me what I made up to that point. Like, even when we have to pull the plug for my mental health, the mechanism of the game is still at play. I'm just happy to be out. I still can't walk well, but it hurts less. And like, I'm not famous enough to burn a bridge.
Bro, what is this expectation? We will pay you $10,000 a day to do this. Oh, you've done it for 10 days. Get $100,000. Why am I getting paid the rest of it? Because you didn't complete the challenge. What is going on, bro? I feel like they're just making shit up to be annoyed about here.
So at the end of the day, I'm still Jimmy's bitch. Like, if I was Carl and he did that to me, I'd ruin him. And they want to do it again. That could be your leverage. If the guy breaks down also, 2 is better.
Also, well, this is all based off his word. We've not seen the contract that he presumably signed. We're not privy to any of the conversations that happened before. We have to take his word for it that they downplayed it, which we don't know 100%, okay? Like, we know so little about this. And yet everyone is, well, not everyone, most people aren't retarded, but the retards are concluding that this guy was abused and misled. We just don't fucking know. you know, I'm willing to accept that there's some incompetence at play with MrBeast. Okay. So, you know, I'm more than happy to accept there's probably some issues with this. But I think that those issues are nowhere close to how it's being described in this video.
Better than one. Yeah, right. I told them everything they did to me that they can't do again in order to make sure the other person doesn't break down as fast. But like the way the video is meant to function is the problem.
Solitary isolation is not abuse, okay? Solitary isolation is used as a severe punishment for prisoners that do not behave, or in some cases for their own protection, if there's some sort of nonce or something and they're at imminent risk of an attack, okay? It's not abuse to do that. It is used as a punishment. But the difference is that in prison, it's not optional, and you don't get paid for doing it. Okay? They have to do that at the behest of the fucking prison, and they got no choice in the matter. This guy chose to do it for $100,000 for 10 days. He could leave at any time that he wanted.
It's a bad idea, full stop. It sounds clickbaity, sounds right up Jimmy's alley, but it's morally unethical.
You're calling it abuse. Oh my God. What? Okay, let me ask you this. You fucking morons, okay? You have got a prisoner, forget this for a second, if you want to call solitary confinement abuse, you've got a prisoner that is exceptionally violent and has attacked 10 other prisoners in the last month and caused serious damage to a few of them, okay? And they're not, you know, changing their ways, they're still acting violently. What do you do with that prisoner? What do you do with that prisoner exactly? How would you deal with that if you're the fucking prison guard? Sometimes it can be used as a form of abuse, certainly. But just because sometimes it's totally legitimate that solitary confinement is applied to a prisoner. You guys are getting your knowledge on prisons from Shawshank Redemption. You fucking morons, okay? Some prisoners are very violent and you need somewhere to put them so they don't cause more harm, and that place is solitary confinement. It's not always abuse, even if sometimes it can be used in that way, okay? Holy shit, you people are so retarded, dude. Sleep deprivation, he could leave any time he wanted. Okay, it's pointless arguing with you. You're clueless, you don't know what you're talking about. We're going to continue, because this isn't even the best part of the video, apparently.
What form of mental illness does Dopak have? Look at him, like dude. The crying guy looks like he likes kids. Both should stop breathing.
You guys, I'm not clueless, you're clueless. You are the ones who are clueless, you're the ones who are fucking retarded, okay? This guy chose to do this for lots of money. He could have walked out at any point, and he chose to stay for longer so he could make as much money as he could, and then he got paid a shitload of money for doing it, okay? He wasn't abused, he agreed to it willingly. At worst, there was maybe some incompetence in assessing his ability to do it at the start. I would guess. I haven't seen the contracts. I haven't seen the full information about this, okay? But you are retarded and you got MrBeast derangement syndrome if you're fucking getting angry about this. There's plenty of other things that you can get angry about MrBeast that I would agree with you on. Like this stuff that comes up at the end of the video, okay? But you just want someone to say MrBeast bad. Go and watch a fucking retard say that if that's what you want, because that ain't me, okay? Holy shit, dude.
Ethical, like on every level. Off-camera breaks, lights off at night, visitation, take the marathon out. Marathon is a video in itself. You can't expect someone to exert themselves like that for 45 seconds of content. The challenges really made it feel dehumanizing. Felt like a parody of MrBeast. I felt like the homeless guy they could exploit. It felt like if Jeff Bezos had a GIMP. It felt like if Jeff Bezos had a GIMP. Part of me wants the footage burned, and part of me thinks that there's a great horror cut in there. LMAO, he was so fake when he came in and said he cared about my mental health. They must have programmed the care about mental health updates. He said, we also don't...
Bro, I cannot believe that people are getting on board with this, where they flash up a thing that talks about sleep deprivation being a war crime. You've lost it. If you think that's a good point, you've lost it, okay?
Want you to... And I swear to our Lord and Savior, he stopped himself from saying sue. Also, as far as like, he could have said no, he could have left at any time. I want to show this segment from an internal document at MrBeast called How to Succeed in MrBeast Production. Specifically on page 19, there's a paragraph called No Does Not Mean No. Already insane, because it's sort of, it seems to be co-opting the popular anti-rape slogan, which is a terrible...
What? I'm just skimmed through this. I've just skimmed through this. I don't think this has anything to do with rape, to be clear, okay?
Terrible look given the
I think what this means is people might instinctively say no to something that if you're persuasive, they will say yes to, okay? Whether or not this was applied to this fucking prison experiment, I don't know, it probably was, okay? But fuck me, dude. Like, why explain it so excessively?
That are going to be coming out very soon. It reads,
Okay, that's wonderful.
when
But how
dealing
do
with
I make
people outside
money
Mr.
off
Beast
the press
Productions, never take no at face value. If we need a store to buy everything inside of, and you can call the local Dollar Tree, and the person that answers says, no, you can't film.
Yeah, this is just about being persuasive. This is like sales patter shit. Dude, I mean, okay, calling it no means no sounds bad. Obviously, there's lots of retards that are looking at this. So, you know, you probably, you know, I mean, this is an internal document, but you've got to presume that a retard is going to look at this at some point and assume the worst, right? But yeah, I mean, obviously, it's, this to me seems more about persuading people to get a result that you want in terms of like it says here, filming somewhere, right? Oh, the manager said no. Is there a way that you can find a way around it being persuasive or intelligent in how you approach it, right?
Here, that literally doesn't mean shit. Talk to other employees and see if they are fans or if any have kids that are fans.
Yeah, exactly, Gamma. Is there any proof that this is being applied to this? Do we know that for sure? This seems to be referring to like talking to the manager of a Dollar Tree store and saying, can we film there? And they say no, and you try and persuade them somehow or find another angle. Is this really being applied here? Do we know that for sure?
Talking to their boss's boss. Have me DM them on Twitter and try their social
that's
team.
Wonderful.
If all
But
avenues
how do I
are
make
exhausted,
money off depressed people.
Just an FYI.
Thank you for the $5.
Allegations just dropped.
Jean-Luc Descartes.
Posted link in your Discord.
Yeah, I saw. I don't know if we'll get to it today, but we'll probably get to it in the next couple of days. But yeah, I've seen it. I've seen there's something that's dropped. We'll take a look. Thank you.
and you are left with a no, that doesn't mean don't try the other Dollar Trees because the manager of those could be huge fans and willing to bend the rules. Basically what I'm trying to convey is what we call pushing through no. Don't stop because one person told you no. Stop when all conceivable options are exhausted.
Yeah, this is like you phone up a business. Oh, can I speak to the sales manager? Cold calling, and they say no. It's like, how do you get around that? How would you be persuasive to find a way around that? This is the idea that this is like anything to do with rape or convincing someone to continue getting tortured is fucking absurd and a massive stretch.
This is one of many tools.
No, there's literally nothing wrong with this. There's literally nothing wrong with trying to be persuasive to get a result that you want out of something.
When combined, dramatically improve your probability of success when producing here. So yeah, this idea of like pushing through no's is a big component to working at MrBeast. And the way that it manifests itself a lot of the time is like a director might tell a producer, hey, we need access to...
Yes, getting the yes. Yeah. Getting the yes.
30 acres of farmland by Tuesday or we lose $500,000. Now, if you're the producer, you obviously know that means get it done or you lose your job. So what can happen is like a producer's calling up farmers saying, hey, I need to use your land. And the farmer might be like, okay, but, you know, I have animals. You can't be making really loud noises, no pyrotechnics, and you got to clean everything up. So the producer is sort of incentivized to lie and say, or maybe the producer doesn't even actually know the total contents of the video. Right?
Okay, right, let's address this more directly. It's basically MrBeast hoodwinking people who are desperate for money that enact torture and abuse. What information are you analyzing to conclude that that guy was hoodwinked? What information have you accessed to establish that that guy was substantively lied to in regards to what that challenge entailed? Because from my perspective, I've heard him talk about it and give his side of it. I don't know one way or another. Obviously, I'm analyzing his statements on the basis that he is disgruntled. He's got an axe to grind. You know, like, I'm not going to take it as read, definitely what he's saying, that he was misled. I'd need to see the contract or some sort of internal communication from MrBeast, you know, in order to understand whether that would be a fair characterization of that. My best guess is that they probably did a little bit of underselling of the situation, but not to the level where you would call it hoodwinked, right? I think that it's overstated. I think he's overstating what happened in order to make a more favorable case for himself. And you fucking retards are falling for it because you've got no critical thinking skills, except MrBeast bad.
Right, things changed last second. So they're very like, they're financially incentivized to be manipulative and sort of, they're put in positions where it's like, oh, it's either the producer's job or a civilian's job, like where it talks about, hey, maybe the manager would be willing to bend the rules. Well, you shouldn't really be pressuring civilians to bend the rules. That could get them fired, you know? I'll show you a real life example.
Okay, right. Okay, you, Hero Ant, hop on Discord right now and explain to me how I'm being retarded. Let's go. Let's fucking do this, okay? Convince me. Convince me that I'm retarded, okay? Let's do this. I'm sick of you fucking morons. Just sniping from chat with nothing. Let's go. Who wants to disagree? What? Point out to me what's wrong. I'm not getting one guide, I'm getting multiple guide, okay? I'm sick of it. I'm sick of people just saying stupid shit in chat and they've clearly got nothing to back it up.
Well, this is unused evidence from part 1. I had seen this Reddit post titled MrBeast leaving trash behind and debris at film site in Ayden, North Carolina. Apparently he left a large boat in a pond as well as debris around the film site in the bottom of the pond weeks and weeks after the agreed time frame. This actually rendered it unsafe for campers and
oh wait, so hang on a second. We moved on from those claims now. We're just talking about other random stuff. Is that right?
almost delayed the camp's opening date multiple times due to not being able to get in contact with MrBeast to get the stuff cleaned up out of the area. So I actually know that this is from a MrBeast video called Protect the Yacht, Keep It, where at the end of that video, he actually says...
If you're wondering, yes, we did ensure the lake was completely cleaned up after this video. For the love of...
Yeah, I feel like we've kind of moved on without really making that clear. I think this should benefit. You know, how do you do it normally? Title cards, right? I don't do this edited shit. You just do a title card. Part 1, boom. Part 2, boom. Part 3, boom. Or something like that, right?
God, subscribe so we can pass T-Series.
Yeah, so he says at the end of the video that they made sure it was cleaned up. I was actually on site for part of this production. I was at this camp. So I decided to send an email out to the camp, basically saying, hey, I heard these rumors. I'm investigating similar incidents. And the camp responded, actually not denying the claims, going on to say, I am sure that there are no perfect film productions, just as there are no perfect people. I am great.
Okay. I need to read the email. Okay. Okay, I'll read it. Okay. Hello. My name is James, and I'm a journalist currently investigating incidents involving the production practices of popular YouTuber MrBeast. I was informed that MrBeast recently filmed a video at your camp. Unfortunately, I heard you experienced issues relating to the cleanup process following their departure, which may have caused inconvenience and disruption to your organization. This is not an isolated incident. Dude, bro, this is very poor. This is very poor form of reaching out and saying stuff like this. Like, you should just reach out in a much more plain fashion in order to get a conversation. Like, you're massively overloading the claims in this email. You're kind of poisoning the well, rather than just having a kind of more open-ended situation where they can just say their piece about it, right? Like, you should just ask, I've got some, you can ask pointed questions, say. You can say, you know, for example, you can say, I've just got some questions about the MrBeast thing. Here's a question, you know, what impact, if any, did this have on your organization? Or what impact did this, you know what I mean? Things like that is what you would tend to ask, right? But this guy is basically reaching out and saying, oh, so they fuck your shit up. Yeah, he's done this before. Let's talk about it. Like, you're kind of leading it too much, I think. So, yeah. The idea that he's calling himself a journalist is very gay as well. So, not an isolated incident. I've encountered numerous reports from various parties who have had similar negative experience with MrBeast, including his production team trashing a remote island and a contestant being severely injured in one of his competition videos due to gross negligence. I'm currently compiling a comprehensive story that aims to shed light on these incidents and advocate for better practices. Any evidence or testimony you could provide would be invaluable to this investigation. If you're willing, I would appreciate the opportunity to discuss the matter further at your earliest convenience. I'll be in the Greenville area for the next couple of weeks if you're willing to speak in person. Otherwise, if you're more comfortable, just respond to this email with evidence and testimony. That would also work. Bro! This dude is such a retard, man. He's reaching out and saying, MrBeast sucks. You got any evidence for me of that? Bro, what the fuck, dude? This is not how you structure a journalistic inquiry with a business. This is ridiculous, right? You either try and get someone on the record to talk or something, and if you can't do that, you ask specific pointed questions like, what impact, if any, did this have on your business and stuff like that, right? God, this is so fucking retarded, dude. Any information you can provide will be instrumental in ensuring a thorough and accurate report. Hey, James. Thank you for reaching out to me as Executive Director of Redacted. We've been hard at work navigating our busy summer camp season. The cast and crew we hosted in March put on quite a big production, and I was able to meet some of the great folks from across the country who specialised in special effects and explosives. I learned a whole lot from them. First, they were very professional. Okay. They took their job seriously, and safety was always the first priority. They were subcontractors of the production crew, and they made sure everyone was safe and well informed. Working with the producers was a blessing. The reply seems very fake. Oh my God. You people are fucking hopeless. You people are totally and utterly hopeless. Do you understand that? You're totally fucking brain dead. It's unbelievable. Or, alternatively, they didn't really have any problems, despite the fact that this guy loaded it so heavily for them to say, you know, bias. What bias? He reached out in a biased way himself, and they got a response that was just, yeah, there was no big deal. There's nothing to this. Clearly, the people at the heart of it weren't bothered. Dogpat wanted them to have a problem, which is why he loaded the email the way that he did. And they came back with, yeah, there was no big deal. Don't worry about it. No sweat. What? And no one's joined. No one wants to talk to me. People just want to fucking chuck peanuts from chat, but they can't actually back up their arguments, so they're not going to bother, it seems. Okay, let me finish reading it, and then we'll continue, okay? PR statements. Okay. What reason have they got to issue a PR statement, you fucking retard? Companies issue PR statements to defend themselves, not to defend a third party. Unless, I mean, what? Like, I'm assuming this was a one-time thing they did with this fucking organization. No, I don't want to have a conversation about anything else. I don't want to talk about anything else. I just want people to come in and tell me why I'm wrong about this. Working with the producers was a blessing. They communicated frequently and even texted me before explosions were going to happen. They also made sure that we were able to live out our mission as a Christian camp while they were at Redacted. I'm sure there are no perfect film productions, just as there are no perfect people. I'm grateful for the opportunity that we had to host the production crew, and because grace has been offered to me so freely, I will choose to offer the same. Thank you for reaching out. We're now focusing on finishing our great summer camp season and are not interested in discussing this any further. Also, I mean, listen, if there was, okay, if there was, you know, some sort of story here, okay? Oh, listen, so Sadie, please hop in the chat and we'll talk about it, okay? I won't say retard to you once. Hop into my Discord and we'll have a conversation, okay? Anyone that disagrees with what I'm saying here, let's fucking go. Okay. So even if this organization did have a story to tell, okay, this guy has fucked up any chance of him telling it because he's come so aggressively in the email. Rather than coming forward and going, hey guys, I'm doing an investigation into MrBeast or whatever you want to call it. I've got a few questions or something. He's come in with, MrBeast fucking sucks, doesn't he? Yeah, I bet he fucked you up as well. Want to give me the evidence of how much he fucked up? And it's totally fucked up any opportunity for them to come with it. And they probably, at best, I guess you could say this is defensive. There's a defensive response. But I think it's indicative of the likelihood there probably aren't any real meaningful problems that they've got to express, right? But if there was, he's totally fucked up any chance of them voicing it because he's been so aggressive in how he's approached it. Like, clearly he's working backwards off of his conclusion that MrBeast is bad. And that is what is leading to these problems. Rather than investigating, finding out what's bad, and then reporting accordingly, he is going in with MrBeast bad, and it's coloring the way that he's interacting. Okay?
Similar incidents. And the camp responded, actually not denying the claims, going on to say, I am sure that there are no perfect film productions, just as there are no perfect people. I am grateful for the opportunity that we had to host the production crew, and because grace, or forgiveness, has been offered to me so freely, I will choose to offer the same. So clearly alluding to the fact that there was a wrongdoing by MrBeast production team. And that's like sort of the...
Wrongdoing? What do you mean wrongdoing?
That's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Hey!
The word that is censored out of that document is fees.
Thank you for the $50. That is extremely generous. Thank you. Fees. MrBeast is getting feesed right now. What is he on about, dude? That's yeah, exactly. You shouldn't make an insinuation like that. You shouldn't make an assumption like that. You should only go off what they tell you, right? And you know, the fair analysis of this would be there was some recognition of some sort of issue, the nature of which is not specific, but clearly, you know, with them said, you know, dude, this is. He's concluding super hard off the back of such limited information, okay? What I'm getting from this is there was probably some disruption, and they're recognizing that happens with these big productions, but it's not significant enough for them to really care about to make a significant statement on, and they're quite happy with how it went, right? Like, you've pressured them into saying something bad about MrBeast. They haven't given that to you. And now you're trying to frame it as an admission that he has done something wrong because you're working backwards from your conclusion that MrBeast is bad, rather than actually investigating and just reporting on the facts that come out of it. Fuck me, dude. This is dog shit.
So freely, I will choose to offer the same. So clearly alluding to the fact that there was a wrongdoing by MrBeast production team. And that's like sort of the thing is, if you're around Greenville, you know these stories of people working with MrBeast and it being extremely unprofessional, them not doing what they say, but they sort of get by a lot on their good public image. And like, I mean, this camp offered to host them completely for free. And I guarantee, like, if you went to the lake at the camp and you went magnet fishing, like, you'd find all sorts of debris that's still there to this day.
What, dude? Trust me, bro. Trust me, bro. The camp said there was no significant issue, but trust me, it's really bad. If you went there and you'd see. What is this, dude? This is dog shit.
Like, they didn't clean it all up. So in the case of Jake Weddle, like, I'm sure that there were producers who were in a position of, hey, if Jake gets out early.
Yeah, also, they said specifically that safety was their focus and they were professional in their response, and he's conveniently ignoring that. He's conveniently ignoring the fact that they said themselves that they felt that they were professional. Oh my god, this is fucking terrible, dude. Just get to the bit with the kitty diddler, please. I'm begging you.
We don't have a video, and your job is at risk.
Come on,
so there's a tremendous amount of pressure on top of, like, him being delirious from not sleeping and everything to just manipulate him into staying. Which, you know, I'm sure this isn't, like, technically against the Geneva Convention on torture because he wasn't technically a prisoner. Like, he could have left at any time.
What's this technicality shit? It just isn't. There's no fucking technicality about it. What are you on about? What technicality? No, it doesn't apply because the circumstances under which that would be applied is not relevant. It's not applicable here because we're not in fucking war and the guy chose himself to do it.
But because of the extreme pressure to stay in, it's not really a reasonable expectation that he could have just, you know, walked out.
Because of the implication.
I think Jimmy is a awkward kid who maybe, yeah, had it a little rough growing up. I can't speak on that, but I do have empathy for it because I had it rough growing up. And I think when you're hyper fixated on something, like I love stand-up, he loves YouTube, everyone, fixates on a thing.
It's no surprise to me. I didn't hear about any of this on social media. Obviously, the ending got spoiled when I looked at social media and everyone was talking about that. But guess what? I couldn't see anyone talking about, it's certainly not lit up discourse, this claims about this guy's making, because it clearly has just not got much meat on the bone. Everyone is talking about the thing at the end because that's the actual bad thing in this video. Anyway, we're nearly there, okay?
You know. I
The
think
after
he
show,
just
yo.
wanted to be the best YouTuber so bad, and because the industry's metrics, rewarded some not great behavior. If you're just going on autopilot based on what the numbers say, you can do some things that maybe aren't good, but reap reward. And I think Jimmy just did what the industry and maybe what the system that we have set up demanded. And he didn't care who got hurt. And I think Jimmy surrounded himself with really, really not so great people, and those people were the ones making the decisions. And I want to say, really important, there are so many good people that work at MrBeast who are damn good at their jobs. Like, when Jimmy comes in and asks for something impossible, it's these people's jobs to do it. And they...
Okay, so basically, the peanut gallery retards want to just say stupid shit in chat, but I've got no argument to back it up. No one's hopped in, so, it's fine. Just accept that I'm right and you're wrong. End of discussion.
They shouldn't be able to make it happen, and they do. And so, I don't think people wanted to talk about stuff because I didn't want my friends to lose their jobs. I don't care about my fucking job. I'll die in a hole. I don't care. But I don't want my friends to lose their jobs.
Okay, that's wonderful.
I don't want anyone's
But how do I
reputation to
make
be
money
fucked.
off depressed people?
Weedle. For your next challenge, you will enter a 5-year marriage with Annie Sajoma.
Dude. Thank you very much for that. Now that is a real challenge right there.
But let's just go back to my dad for a second, if I may. My dad was like a swim coach, neighborhood swim team. Everybody loved him. Everybody loved it. Behind closed doors, he's a real piece of shit. And so when stuff starts hitting the fan, what? Him? No, surely. And then everyone thought my mom was the bitch, for not But then the news broke, that he did what he did to one of the students of the team. And it's like when that comes out, you're not surprised, You just go. When I saw my dad in the news, I said, "Oh, you idiots!" Like I was like, "No, what?" I was, "Oh, dumbass! God damn it!" But I wasn't surprised, and it was just consequences happening to somebody who was really good at avoiding them for a long time. And I don't know, everybody loves Jimmy, and behind closed doors, he is not super great, and that image is.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure MrBeast is a total freak. I don't think any of these massive big YouTubers, anything like the public thing they present themselves as. Yeah, I mean, I think I used to work for Virgin, right? Which had a very positive, Richard Branson has got a very positive outwards persona and stuff, right? And he's seen as a nice guy and he puts employees first and all this stuff. But hearing people and speaking to people that actually had engaged with and worked somewhat with Richard Branson whilst working there, he was like a fucking terrible person if you worked directly for him. And he would absolutely berate you and batter you about the place verbally and shit like that if you got stuff wrong. So yeah, it's, these people who are in these positions that have got these outwardly very pleasant, reputations. I think the truth does tend to be quite different behind closed doors. So I'm under no illusion that MrBeast is a total freak.
Cultivated purposefully and intentionally. And it's branding, it's marketing, it's YouTube.
Okay, so I guess, just one final question on a serious note. Obviously, the Ava Chris Tyson drama.
Here we go.
And
right, is this the good part of the video? Finally, we finally reached it. So it's my fault for pausing a lot as well. Okay.
That's a known issue of traditional media. Did you witness or hear about any sexual misconduct at the company?
I'm listening.
It's crazy. I probably hung out with Ava the most out of the main cast just because I was on Beast Hacks. Now Beast Reacts. I don't know if it's still out. That was a lot of fun because it was just being silly and goofy in front of the camera. And Ava was the only person who was willing to film. Everybody else was too busy or didn't want to, and I was just trying to do my job. Sometimes there'd be like an offhanded joke that's a little gross. I mean, I'm a stand-up, so I'm very desensitized to that. I didn't hear anything that was like, whoa, that's crazy. Like when I saw, the reason I messaged you instead of talking to reporters sweetly like I have been was when I saw the Discord stuff because when I got there, it was like 2019. So I guess if the timelines add up, that would have been like handled, for lack of a better term. And then they started bringing more people on. Maybe they thought they had that under the rug. All right, we handled that. Now let's bring in some writers. And when I saw it, all that stuff started coming out, and the potentiality, as of this moment of recording. I know this has been happening fast and stuff has been coming out so fast. Just the potential that Jimmy could have been in those Discord chats. Or even the potential that he participated in those Discord chats. After the shit he did to me, if you're going to make fun of my dad, I don't care what happens to me and my career and reputation after this. I had to say some stuff. So, whatever happens at this point.
Outside of Chris Tyson, did you ever hear about any sexual misconduct at the company?
I've heard rumors. I can't confirm or deny anything. I don't have any tangible evidence, but I've heard stuff that if it could be investigated, that'd be great. But it's like water cooler talk. But I've heard things, yes, of course. I heard, people have been let go for sexually assaulting some very young people.
Okay, I mean, oh boy. I mean that is a big claim, and hopefully, I mean, I'm a bit concerned about this third-party investigation and just how in-depth it's going to be and whether they'll actually dig kind of this stuff up. But yeah,
the idea that Jimmy didn't know, or that Jimmy was covering stuff up. He didn't want stuff to come out. He's very careful about his image. The tangible proof that he knew but covered it up. How do you prove that, Well, there was a known sex offender, registered sex offender, convicted sex offender on the registry and everything, who worked there. And like you can, someone pees in public, you're on the registry, you get it. You can still get a job after you're on the. That's not one.
You're about to look at evidence.
About my dad's history of predation wearing a shirt that says poop.org.
I don't believe, from what I've heard, there's evidence to back up that claim that someone was let go for actually SAing a minor, or a young person, I should say, is what he said. I don't think there's evidence of that, is there? I know about what he does reveal, which is a bit gay, that I've had, because I've seen it on social media. Which is bad, obviously terrible, horrendous, indefensible, if that turns out to be
wonderful.
true.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
Tom Girl became a member. Tom Girl celebrates 11 months of membership. This guy just messed up his whole life. And he's not funny.
Thank you for the membership. I'm guessing it's blurred because it contained private information, which, there's a blurring tool you can use on YouTube. So they've probably done that to avoid any privacy complaints.
That's one thing. You go to prison, you get rehabilitated, that's one thing. Like if you do your time, that's fine. I think there should be rehabilitation in this country. But that guy, from what I hear, I can't confirm or deny, from what I hear, he's on the registry for doing some not great stuff to some underage people. And then
bro! Fuck me. I mean, it's obviously, if you're in the business of children's entertainment, in any fashion, you cannot have people on the staff that, I mean, it's crazy to say this. You cannot have people on the staff that have been convicted of sex crimes against children. Doesn't matter how long ago it was. It doesn't matter. The context, nothing. It's a flat no. Out of an abundance of caution, you cannot possibly have people that have done that doing this sort of thing. It's just a complete no-go. No matter what the circumstances, context, or argued rehabilitation. No.
And they knew that. He's working at a channel that has underage people on and around and is targeted to underage people. And they covered up the fact that not only did he work there, but he was like the manager when it all started. And you know that he knew, and because he'll be in videos, he'll be in thumbnails, he'll be around. And whenever he is, he's wearing a mask. Why would you wear a mask? Why would you conceal your face? It's like, what are you concealing? That you are a registered sex offender? And that your face could be looked up on a thing? How much more can you literally cover up a sex offender with a physical mask? Like, do I have to? Is it more on the nose, or?
This mask thing. I mean, you know, there's other conceivable reasons why a mask might be used. I mean, to be honest with you, that's kind of an irrelevant point anyway, right? The fact that someone is on the books as having a sex offense against children and is working on this thing is just completely. That's it. That's the issue. Boom. They should not have done that. And if they have done that, that is a gross level of incompetence, or at best a gross level of incompetence, because they presumably haven't done any background checks before taking this person on. You know. I mean, that's it. You don't need to take it further than that. You don't need to speculate on a fucking mask. It's just, they had someone that was a convicted sex offender apparently working on MrBeast, which would indicate they've done no background checks, despite the fact they're primarily a children's entertainment show. That's it. What more is there to say?
I don't know why they let him go, because there's rumors back and forth, you know, so I don't know why they let him go, but he did leave at one point. Even if that guy didn't do anything, they still knew about it and he was still around. And what if he's one of the people in the Discord servers? What if he's not? I don't know. But when I was there, they called him Delaware. It's like, why do you call him Delaware? I didn't know. Apparently they called.
I disagree with the register. I didn't give a take about the register. I was very specific in the language that I used. If you roll it back, I said if you've convicted of a sex crime against a child. I'm pretty sure I said something like that. It's not about an argument about the registry. It's about the specifics of the crime that you committed that would mean you can't do it.
Called him Delaware because he's not allowed to go back to Delaware. That's his nickname? Colloquially? Like, you know, yeah, it's Delaware. Don't ask him why, you know? The fuck? And should we know about it? The likelihood that he didn't know is astronomically low.
Okay, so finally I have a recorded phone conversation. The person on the other end of this line is a different former MrBeast employee talking about Delaware. Also, apparently before this phone conversation got recorded, the person on the other end of the line said that the MrBeast team was actually trying to
Wait, sorry, I need to get back on the
The likelihood that he didn't know is astronomically low.
Okay, so finally I have a recorded phone conversation. The person on the other end of this line is a different former MrBeast employee talking about Delaware. Also, apparently before this phone conversation got recorded, the person on the other end of the line said that the MrBeast team was actually trying to expunge Delaware's record off the registry, and that's what actually like sparked this person to start recording.
Bro, what the fuck is going on there? Where are they calling from? Mars? What the fuck is going on? I can't focus on what's being said. The voice thing is fucking me up too much. I got an interview with a fucking Dalek or some shit. What's going on, dude?
Different VPs, managers, you know. They don't want to talk to us anymore. Because they're scared of Jimmy.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off the customer?
Okay, dude.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Thank you for
But
the
how do I make
$2.
money off
Boop
depressed
and
people?
Clever Nugget, thank you. Okay. Do I need to just read it, dude? Oh, fuck's sake. Okay. I'll do it.
This person to start recording.
Delaware he was a hustler, dude. Like, completely honest with you. He was a hustler. If there was extra money to be made and Jimmy didn't care about who's taking it, like, if Jimmy was like, I need a set done, and Delaware is like, would you do it for like $1,000 more? Just go out there and fucking build a set for like 8 hours by yourself, you know? I'll be like, yeah, sure, whatever. And it was Reed's idea to get him fired. And he was like, we need to get you as a player manager. And then went through the whole cycle of different VPs and managers and, you know, people that won't talk to us anymore because they're scared of Jimmy. And if you were to go do anything and get affidavits and testimonials from people, you have to move very quickly because one of those people are going to go back and tell Jimmy. Okay. I do not understand the point. I don't know what information has just been imparted to me. I really can't tell you. I couldn't tell you what I'm supposed to garner from that, to be honest with you, okay?
Is MrBeast's former manager who was in the last video telling Jimmy, you know, hey, don't promote gambling to children. So, you know, I think Reed's taken 2 W's this month. You know, don't promote gambling to children and don't have offenders on payroll. Also, yeah, just from where I'm sitting, it seems extremely unlikely that Jimmy wouldn't know. But, you know, I know I'm sure that's the defense he'll go with. So I'll just say preemptively, like, you know, if somehow Jimmy didn't know about Delaware, I think it's still such an extreme level of negligence. Like, what, you're not doing background checks. You're not. Everyone at your company knows, but somehow.
Yeah. This I'm 100% on board with this criticism because, you know, my understanding of it is beyond what I think about it. I'm fairly certain that any job that has any involvement with children, any background check that you know spat out a conviction for child sex crimes would be no. That would be an instantaneous, an immediate no. You would not be able to do that job, right? And yeah, there's also these claims which I feel like here are not being expressed very well, but I've heard this. So apparently MrBeast, from what I understand, was calling this guy Delaware on like videos, and the Delaware thing is a reference to the fact that he's not allowed to go to Delaware because of this crime or something. Is that right? Is that correct?
How you don't know. I think that needs more of an explanation than just saying, I didn't know. Well, how didn't you know? How did this person get into the company and you know, a company that makes content for children and is around children? So yeah, Jimmy, I think we need an explanation from you or you know.
Is there any proof though? The proof is the legal records. That is fucking that is the gold standard of proof that someone has committed a crime is they've been found guilty in court and they appear on legal records, right? It means nothing. It's a nickname. I think okay. Oh, okay. He's on the registry in Delaware. It's not that he can't go back. They don't like bar you from the state, but of course, yeah, you can probably still go there. But life is harder for him there, right? Okay, because people recognize him as being on the nonce report, basically.
Your lawyers and PR people and representatives and spokespersons and on how you could have not known that there was an offender at a high level in your company. And while you're responding to that, why not just respond to the allegations of rigging contest videos and selling fake signatures, running illegal lotteries, you know, the dangerous conditions on the set of Beast games. You should address those too. So yeah, just let us know. Okay, that was my interview with former MrBeast employee Jake Weddle. I know he will be coming.
Bro, literally the only thing that was of significant merit in this whole thing was the thing at the end. So I feel like he's, again, it's like, I mean, I wouldn't even call this a mixed bag because it's like most of it was dross. The end bit was any good. And I was like, okay, boom, I'm with you on this criticism, you know? So, yeah, I mean, bro.
Coming out with a longer cut of this interview as well as other content. So I just wanted to shout him out, Jake Weddle.
Yeah, also, the most important thing, and he spent the least amount of time on it too, bro.
Top link in the description.
I've waited a long time to talk about a lot of this publicly, so thank you for doing what you're doing.
What the fuck is this bit, dude? This can't be real, can it? Bro, that bit at the end was like a joke. I feel that's like what you do as a joke. Okay, here we go. Is the address blocked out of this? Oh yeah, that's what it was. I remember now. Basically what it was is the original had his zip code, I believe, which is obviously very specific. You can't have someone's zip code on there. You need to block all that out. Because then you can track down their street, right? I remember seeing it floating about.